What is up with it, y'all? It's Coffee on the vid. Tapping back in, man, in the aftermath of the Not Like Us movement that at the end of the day really doesn't seem like it's over. It's still shaking and moving, man. And it's so funny as, Drake is trying to play these games, trying to play mental chess with everyone. Like, he's good money. He don't care. Even though, despite the fact that, like, he ran and filed a lawsuit, right? That right before the Super Bowl, when everyone was getting their snacks, brewskis, liquor, soda pops, and just all the game essentials, right? Running around doing that last minute shopping. Drake had his attorneys hit Kendrick's representatives in the courts and all that in a last ditch effort to try to stop this history making performance from even going down. They try to put out this not almost like a cease and desist in a way or whatever, but more or less just crying, trying to do what they could do from a legal aspect to stop the performance. And they couldn't do a damn thing, man. But Drake's sitting here trying to act like he don't care. He got the Party Next Door project job, and he got a one-on-one conversation with the people to let them all know he's alive, coming when the time is right with this solo project. And it's just written all over Drake's actions, his face, paws, everywhere, that he's highly bothered. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have tried to go toe to toe with Kendrick. Like I keep saying, man, there's nothing wrong with being a pop artist. Pop music's lit. It's just different genres, man. And when it comes to this MC-ish, there was no way Drake was about to go toe to toe with Kendrick. You smell me? And peep the new reports here, all kinds of records being broken, accolades happening and all that. And it's major, man. So peep it. When the Grammys went down and he swept the Grammys 5 for 5 with Not Like Us, right? That put him into the category of 20 and up for rappers with Grammys. The only other artists up into that echelon, the upper echelon Grammy wise statistically, is Ye and Jay-Z. And we gotta shout out Jay-Z for putting together this whole play with the halftime show. And as far as those allegations, it's a side conversation. I want to go on the record and say that I just do not believe them to be true. You let me know what you think. But that girl talking about her story, which there's a lot of inconsistencies that have been pointed out. But when they talked to Pops and he was like, I can't recall that. I can't recall driving 6 to 8 hours from Rochester, New York to Manhattan to go pick up my daughter after she had been allegedly violated. Like, how would Pops forget that, man? Stop the cat. But so he made history with the Grammy side of things, 20 and up, you know what I'm saying? Joining Hove and Ye with the Grammy-ish, right? But check this out, man. Drake could never compete. Internet reacts as Kendrick Lamar becomes the first rapper to surpass 90 million monthly Spotify listeners. And it's so funny as we go over some of these numbers here, the history that's continuing to be made by this Not Like Us movement. I want to point out, a few weeks ago, I saw a Drake stan talking about an Instagram post or some social media post, right? Like, look at the views on this. It was Drake announcing the Party Next Door project coming. And because that did a certain amount of numbers, they were trying to act like that was some old big thing. Like, cut it out, man. Take a look at these numbers. How your sixth God that you praise in a blasphemous way continues to take a L and is all in his feelings, butthurt, crying to the courts about it. Kendrick continued to make history on Spotify following his performance at the Super Bowl, February 9, 2025. According to Hype Fresh, on February 12th, the Not Like Us rapper has surpassed Drake's all-time Spotify record by reaching 88.9 million monthly listeners. And you see all the different data being put up by all these other media outlets. Kendrick becomes the first rapper to surpass 90 million monthly listeners in Spotify history. Drake could never compete. These are reactions here. Drake could never compete with him. He's a fraud. Facts. That's what this was about. Someone I seen dropped a comment the other day in regards to all this and was like, yo, these rap beefs aren't what they used to be. You know what I mean? Because people, when it comes to the rap beef, as long as it stays on wax and no one's getting hurt or nothing, which when it comes to this situation, we don't know what happened at Drake's crib to tie that to this situation. I'm just keeping it a buck. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to say that in the wink, wink, nod, nod semantics, using alleged and ish like that type way. I'm just saying we can't tie to this. We don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying? That could have been some Canadian goons that are sick of Drake's ish off the rip. Because we know even when Drake was at his peak, he was getting robbed in the T-Dot. You heard? Here's some other reactions. Back to what I was saying. If it stays on wax, it brings for competitive music, passionate music. Pause. The artists bringing their A game, getting behind what they're putting out. You know what I'm saying? Really trying to make sure the people are smelling what they're selling. If you smell me. And like they were trying to be like, nowadays these rap, listen, they say it's just petty personal stuff. This beef definitely had a lot of personal shots taken at each other, but just like Kendrick said at the Super Bowl, not at the They Love to Sue, the other jump off, he said rape before he switched to performing Not Like Us. Because if you recall, it transitioned into him saying, I want to do my favorite song, but They Love to Sue. Boom, transitioned into another song, then came back into the little intro, you know what I'm saying, then into Not Like Us. And my point is it's bigger than all that. You know what I mean? It represents so much more than them just personally not caring for each other. It comes to Drake on the fraudulation tip, you know what I'm saying, where there's a lot of individuals, and it's more prevalent than ever in this blogosphere era, where people will try to be what they're not, or they really they get caught up in the whole thing of playing a character. Like, there's nothing wrong with conceptual art like that, where one is playing a character or whatever the case may be, you heard? But when you're like getting lost in the sauce and you don't really know who you are, and you're lashing out at anyone that has anything pertinent or relevant to say, to point out how you just ain't making sense and how it's just not what you're saying, that you're just on some fraudulation-ish, that's whack, that's lame, you know what I mean? So it represents so much more, as well as just true MCs and all that, you know what I mean? Here's some more reactions. He's having one of the best years for a rapper ever. Imagine telling someone in early 24 that we be here now. And real talk, this whole movement seemingly came out of nowhere, man. You know what I mean? Because it didn't start with just Drake and Kendrick. There was other artists throwing jabs and stuff at each other, from J. Cole to Ross, you know what I'm saying? And the list goes on. And when Kendrick got in the mix, he set his sights and zeroed in on K-Dot, and the rest, on Drake, and the rest is history. BBL Drake, which we got to give Rick Ross, who coined that term, his props and all that. But at the end of the day, Rose's playing a whole character too and getting lost in that sauce as well. That's so crazy. He went to the courts to war with the Freeway Ricky, who was hit with a life sentence because of some old governmental corruption and illegal war and all that. You know what I'm saying? And the Iranian Contras, and dumping drugs in the hood and teaching people how to chef up work so they could fund their illegal secret war, and try to play Monopoly chess on other parts of the country and in Latin America. You know what I'm saying? US versus Russia was highlighted very well in that American-made movie with Tom Cruise. Tap in and let me know if y'all seen that movie, if you flucked with it or not. Someone responded to that though and said, not even a year ago, Kendrick was at 50 mil and had one Billboard #1 song. Someone else says, Kendrick is definitely doing big things, having been part of the best Super Bowl halftime shows ever. Someone says trash. They got to be a Drake stan like a motherfucker. What's this? Game of Life, amazing metaphor. Netzians react to PlayStation controller symbology in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show. What did y'all think about that imagery, your take on it, the controller. Let's talk about it. Tap in, as well as everything else we're touching on. Y'all make sure to subscribe, hit the buttons, tune into the lives where you could call in. Let's do it up, y'all. Someone else says, this is dope. I wish I was there. Was a way to know. Oh, I wish there was a way to know how many are first-time listeners versus returning listeners. The Super Bowl always introduces artists to a new audience. I think there is some way statistically, you know what I'm saying? But we already know Kendrick had a loud and proud, dedicated fan base already. You know what I mean? I got to admit, I am a country music, Southern rock fan, white boy. And as much as many badmouthed the show, I was mesmerized by it and found it quite entertaining. Yeah, like people trying to call that show trash and all that. I'm like, I can't even believe it. You know what I'm saying? Because I stand on some ish. Like, even if I don't flock with someone, I'm still gonna keep it real about something. And we saw that like with Durant. This man got on here and capped like that this show didn't mean nothing. Cut it out, man. All these Drake stands. Here's another tweet here from Kendrick Lamar updates. Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us 39 Weeks is now the 6th longest charting solo rap song on the Billboard Hot 100, surpassing Roddy Ricch's The Box at 38 weeks. Before his Super Bowl performance Sunday night, Kendrick Lamar's top 5 songs have been in the top 40 on the Billboard 100. However, a day after his halftime show, the rapper's streaming catalog has seen a 153% increase per Billboard, citing reports from Luminate. Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar's Drake diss, which was the centerpiece of his Super Bowl show, has seen an even bigger uptick. The former Billboard #1 track saw a 222% increase on daily streaming, reaching 10.4 M's as of Monday, February 10th. So, and at the time of this article being written, the Billboard Hot 100 list for the week of February 15, 25 lists Not Like Us at 15 from its number 29 placement the previous week. Lamar's TV Off featuring Lefty Gunplay also leveled up with 1 position from last week and is now at number 10. What do you guys think about Lefty Gunplay in that track and that feature and them collabing? I'm real intrigued to know everyone's thoughts, man. Lefty Gunplay has made a lot of noise out here. He's been a very controversial individual in many ways. A lot of people flock with him. A lot of people don't know what to think. I want to know what y'all think, man. Meanwhile, his collab track with SZA, who also joined him on the Super Bowl stage, Luther, is currently back at its peak number 3 on the charts from its previous number 4 position last week. And then also, right, Drake's over there in Australia crying to the crowds and having weird mullet man moments. Kendrick and SZA are doing a European tour. They unveiled the European leg for their grand national tour. So you see all the dates being listed and everything like that. Like, K-Dot just continues to kill it. And then here's another very interesting, pertinent, powerful piece of information and data right here. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show is officially the most watched performance ever. 133.5 million viewers. It has surpassed Michael Jackson's halftime show. That's crazy, man. You know, that's what someone was trying to say too, that like Kendrick's show didn't touch MJ's. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think, man. But there y'all have it. Kendrick continuing to make history. The Not Like Us movement ain't over. Drake over here whining and crying, acting like a whole bitch. But once again, hit the comments and let me know what y'all think about it all. As always, that's what it's about over here with Coffee, hearing from y'all the people. Subscribe, tap in. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and God bless y'all. I'm up out here.